everyone, my name is Nicola. I am Simply a Stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, it's great to have you, and if you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming and spending some more time with me today. And I have noticed I have had a jump in subscribers, so thank you very, very much to those of you who have pressed that button. If you are watching this though and you are not subscribed, it is free to subscribe on YouTube, and once you hit the subscribe button and then select on the notification drop down all, you will be notified every time I upload a video. So if my channel is your thing, do the thing down below, hit the button, and yeah, join me for all of my content. So today I'm going to share with you a Flosstube update and share with you what I've been working on over the last 7 days. I've worked on 7 projects, however I can only show 6 as one of them is a model stitch. Across all of the pieces I have got in a total of 9,750 stitches, which I'm really pleased with. I am on a week off work this week, so there's potential that I may get hit the 10,000 plus mark, but let's see. I do have a few things planned this week. So as I said, I have worked on 7 projects. The first one, which I'll get out of the way, is the model stitching. So for those of you that don't know, model stitching is I have a contract with a UK publisher or UK creator should I say, who creates patterns for publishing in national magazines and part works. And usually about every month I receive a piece. I receive all the fabric and thread that I need to stitch the piece, and I make it up as per their instructions. I send it back to them, and it is paid work. It's self-employed work. So on my model stitch this time there were 1,758 stitches exactly, so that has added on to the yearly tally. So let's just have a look. What else have I been working on this week? As I said, I've worked on 6 projects. But yeah, let's get through to the routine stitching. So the rotation stitching, the first piece I've worked on is this one. This is Magpie. Artwork is by Lorna Laine and charted and kitted for me by Geckorouge. Dog's off barking.
Ronnie Pickering.
Yeah, call her Ronnie Pickering, because she's like, don't you know who I am? Magpie, yes. So stitched on 25 count fabric, 1/1 full cross, 25 count easy count. If I was pushed into a corner and asked which one I was not enjoying most of all, or which one I was enjoying the least out of all of my new starts, I would say this one. And it's not because I don't like it or anything like that. It's just simply because at the moment I'm just doing this wing, and there's just not, there's no, I can't really see the subject yet, if that makes sense. So there isn't a single stitch of black in this. There's none of the thread cards are matching 310, but it's had 1,000 stitches, and we've gone from 3.24 to 4.65%. And as you can see there, it's got some really nice blues and greens and purples in it. It is nice, don't get me wrong, but you know, if I was asked which one I was enjoying the least, I think it would be this one. But 1,000 stitches of progress is 1,000 stitches of progress. This one isn't a massive piece either, with it being full coverage but shaped. 70,913 stitches, so it's not enormous in the grand scheme of things. When I've got pieces that are almost 1,000,000 stitches, it's tiny in comparison. So Magpie was also out on a stitch with me with music, so if you look back in the end card, or possibly further back in my videos, you'll find that. So next one that I worked on was this one. This is a stitching shelf. Artwork is by Amy Stewart and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Regular size, max colour. So 375,550 stitches and 200 and something colours. This piece has also had 1,000 stitches. 26.6 to 26.87%, and it was also out on A Stitch With Me this week. It was out on my chatting Stitch With Me. Just working out where I stitched. Stitch 1/1 full cross on some 25 count. So as you guys know, I'm filling in 10 stitch deep blocks right the way along, and I went from sort of around here up to sort of here. You can see there's a few stitches, there are a couple of ninjas here, and what I've done is when I've had a stitch and then I've just tried to fill in and use up all the thread, so I'm not parking or hanging threads on this one. But actually, let's just go from the left so you can see. This will be shown in its entirety on my Whip Parade, which I'm planning for the end of June. But yeah, 1,000 stitches of progress. That lady is now fully complete. So yeah, happy with that. Okay, just move that so it doesn't get in the light. So the next piece, I'll just grab my book again, that I worked on, it was more for rotation stitches. And this was another Amy Stewart. Nope, that one. And it's this piece. Oh, this is Cosmic Marbles. And this one I got regular size, regular colours. So 80-ish, 90 colours in this one. 350,000 stitches exactly. And this week I've done 1,000, and it's gone from 0.97 to 1.26%. So milestone reached, and it's stitched 1/1 full cross on some 25 count. And again, I'm doing it in a similar manner, 10 rows deep blocks, but I'm doing this at 100 stitches wide and filling them in. So everything, you know, the first 3 rows are fully complete. I've got a little bit to finish off this one, and then I've just used up thread underneath. We've got this next blue marble coming in, and you can see now that this marble is almost there, and this one is very nearly within the confines of where I'm working. This one's very nearly done. But yeah, 1,000 stitches in, happy again with that. Progress is progress, and you know, doing 1,000 stitches for me is plenty progress that I can see. Okay, in case you've heard the tapping, Andy is here.
I know. I've been talking.
Have you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said the dog was Ronnie Pickering.
Oh, of course, it's a Monday. Yeah. The next one I've worked on is this. This is the Lord of the Rings stained glass, and it was a birthday gift to myself. I got it from Etsy a couple of years ago, and I'm working this one, colour completing, doing all of the black first. This was my Sunday stitch, and it's gone from 15.53 to 15.92%. So I can't show it in its entirety because it's just too big. But this is stitch 2/1 on some 18 count. So I did quite a lot of this. I mapped and stitched that part in. I've done these scattered stitches at the top here. And on my live stream last night, we got in quite a lot of Aragorn's face. So yeah. 1,400 stitches altogether, so yeah, 15.53 to 15.92%. And again, on my Whip Parade, I'll show that in its entirety because it's like a bed sheet. Okay, so the next one that I've worked on, if you're in my Facebook group, you'll know I am hosting a monthly stitch along. This one's theme is Junebug, and I'm working on my bee. So the idea of the monthly stitch along is that you pick a piece, want to work on it, and you put in as many stitches as you feel comfortable. For me, I'm just putting in 100 a day, which will give me 3,000 extra stitches of progress on B this month. And again, this one is not a huge piece. Again, artwork is by Lorna Laine, charted and kitted by Geckorouge. It's had 700 stitches this week, but also you'll see today's stitches on it as well, because I've already done those. I was working on completing the wing. So this wing, bar a couple of ninja stitches, is now complete.
What are ninja stitches?
They are odd stitches here and there, they're very scattered ones.
Oh, I see. So you have to be like a ninja to get them.
Yeah. So
I like that actually. That's quite cool.
1/1 full cross on some 25 count. So this is actually due out in rotation this week, so it's going to get another extra bunch of stitches because it's my Sunday stitch. So yeah, I mean, once I got this wing done, I'm going to start to work, I think, on perhaps on some of the honeycombs, but I might even just go across and do the other one. I don't know, haven't decided. This will tell me how to stitch it, I'm sure. So B has gone from 6.91 to 7.99%, and ooh, hopefully, all being well, with what I can get put in on her this week and with the Sunday stitch, I should smash 10%. Fingers crossed. So the last piece to show you is my focus for a finish. So Night Cafe is no longer getting extra stitches. It does get stitches on Spare Stitch Saturday. Didn't get any this week. Model Stitch and one or two other odds and ends going on. So the focus for a finish is Symphony, and this is a Michaela Lerner piece. The Etsy shop is called Charts and Stuff. There is a link in the description box below. There are several sister pieces to this one. I'm stitching it on some 18 count 1/1 full cross, and because I'm not doing 100 a day, what I'm doing is I'm stitching until my thread runs out, and then when I get a full square, I'm tallying those up. I think I might have gone wrong with my counting somewhere. So 29.08 to 43.87%, and I've recorded 2,900 stitches, but I do think it's more. And this is stitch 2/1 on some 18 count, because I don't think I've got 1,100 stitches to finish this, but I'll catch those stitches up and it'll just add on to my total this week. So yeah, I am going to get to 50% on this very, very shortly, and then hopefully 16th. Are we on target finishing this month? Possibly not. Hopefully we are, but if we do, we do. Yeah, 2,900 stitches. So my total for the week, 9,750 stitches, and I'm very, very happy. So that's all stitching. Okay, so haul, nothing in terms of haul, except I have a confirmed ticket for the big stitch next year. I have, as I went last year, I was on the early bird list, so I could get my ticket early. I've got that, I've paid for it, bless you, I've got that, I've paid for it, and I'm going to the big stitch in 2026. Hope to see lots of you there. I know that of at least 3 or 4 people who are coming, so it would be fantastic to see you guys. Channel this week, so what is coming up? Let me just scroll it down. Okay, so we did Magpie this week. Okay, right, so there will be an ASMR stitch with me with Tower Bridge, which is my Sophie Kilpatrick piece, the blue themed one. I've already recorded that, so that will be out on Thursday. Bizarre Bookshelf will be out for rotation stitches, and I will film a stitch with me with that on Wednesday, which will be released on Saturday, and that will be with chat. on Wednesday evenings live stream, my symphony will come out because it's focused on finish. Then in rotation I've got Coastal coming out, my Roseanne Bell piece, so 1,000 stitches will be added to that. And just to round off the week, with it being a full-on Geckorouge week, B is my Sunday stitch. So if I get more than 700 stitches in on Sunday, which is, let's face it, highly likely, it will smash over 10%. So yeah, so that's my stitching week. Of course, I'll also be putting in 100 stitches daily on B. So a couple of other things. So let's talk about Facebook group. So in the description box below, you will find lots of links and information. So you'll find all the information about every pattern that I'm stitching, and you'll also find a link to my Facebook group. If you want to join in on a stitch along or anything like that, you can join the Facebook group, or there's my email address. You can do it via email. I don't mind either way. It doesn't matter how many stitches you want to put in, just pledge to work on something. As I said, the June one is well underway. We're a fortnight in, and the theme is nature. So anything, plants, animals, birds, insects, trees, scenery, fantasy or reality, doesn't matter. That was the theme for June. So I'm going to open one probably at the later part of this week in there for July, and the theme will be Christmas stroke winter in July. So if you have a Christmas piece and you want to work on it, fabulous. Not everybody stitches Christmas, but you might have a piece with a winter theme. If you want to work on that, fabulous. I actually have both, because what I plan to do is my 100 stitches a day, I will go on Ice Dragon, which is a winter themed piece. There's all the snow in it. But also, if I get Symphony finished, or within the month get Symphony finished, the next piece that's on focus for a finish is my Geckorouge Christmas Cat. So this piece, where have you gone? So this piece would also be out in July, so I would get kind of both ends really, 100 stitches a day on Ice Dragon, and then working on Christmas Cat on focus for finish. So hopefully I can get Symphony as close as possible. I might even potentially not use Spare Stitch Saturday for Night Cafe if it's getting close to a finish, but we'll see. Okay, other news, other bits that is going on in Nikki's world. Lauren is currently taking her last exam at school, and then all she has to do is go back for a assembly, and then she's got her prom in a couple of weeks' time. We went and got her some jewellery for it, so we got her a tiara. It looks a little bit like the Girls of Great Britain. The one that the Queen used to wear all the time, the very lightweight one, but this one is not light. I've tried it on, it's heavy. And we got her a sparkly necklace with a purple gem in it to match her dress, and she'd already got some earrings. We just need a sparkly handbag for her, and then she's done. She absolutely loved the little corsage that I showed you guys last week, so yeah, that went down very, very well. I'm going to add some ribbon to it, because although it's got an elastic wrist strap, I'm going to add some ribbon just for a bit of extra security. Weight loss this week, she did fabulous. She lost 1.5 pounds, so she's now up to 11.5 pounds gone, and I actually found the 1.5 pounds that she lost. But I'm not concerned. I know exactly why. This week I'm off work, so it's going to be much, much easier to stick to plan. I tend to find that I'm a bit of a stress eater, and I'm sort of, coming to terms with that a bit now. Anyway, so that is that. I can't think if there's anything else I need to say. Have I missed anything? Oh, Andy's lost in a video. Speaking of Andy, he has lots and lots of videos on his channel, The Village Idiot. So if you're interested in geography, history, UK, village life, do go check out his channel. Speaking of shout outs, if I have had any shout outs and I've missed them and I've missed to say thank you for giving me a shout out. As you can appreciate, I do get a little bit distracted. There's usually lots going on in this house. But that's everything. So much shorter video this week, rather than the bring a brew and settle in one of last week. So just over 20 minutes I've waffled on for. So I'm going to end my video with my usual reminders. 3 videos that appear on the screen in a moment. If you've not seen those, please do go take a few minutes to have a look. I release a Flosstube on Tuesday, Stitch with me Thursdays and Saturdays, and I live stream at 7:30 PM UK time on Wednesdays and Sundays. All being well, should I say, because last Wednesday I didn't stream. I was quite tired and I didn't feel as though I didn't have the energy. I was actually in bed before 9 o'clock, which is highly unusual for me. So if you can join me for those videos, it's much appreciated. As I said, do check out the description box below for lots and lots of information. But really, all that's left to say is thank you guys. Thanks very much for watching, listening, subscribing, liking, sharing and commenting. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.